So, hello there, everybody. This is the Comedy Thief, and what you're watching now is funny old guys. And beside me, with his nose up to the camera, is Dr. Fatpacker. Say hello to our adoring, expanding national audience.
Don't use all those words with me. That's Charlie's stuff. I'll just say hello and how is everybody, and we're good to be here today. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. And then below me is I'm the Comedy Thief. Down here is Homeless Charlie. That's not his real hair, and that's not his real mustache. He's just a strange fellow. He's a guy. Say hello there, Homeless Charlie.
I belong to the Odd Fellows. How you doing? Hello to everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yes. Well, and so what we do is we tell jokes, and it's hysterically funny, and you laugh and carry on, and you subscribe to our videos, and we make millions of dollars. But before we tell jokes, we have a point of conversation, and that is, Dr. Fatpacker, what do you think would be the worst name that you could pick for your child?
Oh, well, with the last name of Fatpacker, there's a lot to go on. But I know my neighbor up the street, his last name is Clerk, C-L-E-R-C.
Yes.
And I suggested for his son, Postal.
Postal Clerk. That's a beautiful name.
Yeah. I didn't choose that.
Almost, Charlie, what's the absolutely worst name that you could pick for your child?
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't give it a whole lot of thought, but first thing that came to my mind was Pork Chop.
The dogs would love him.
I have no idea.
I would pick Bertha.
What?
Bertha.
Now, and I would pick that for my boy.
Yeah. Bertha Butts, one of the Butt sisters. I remember her.
There's a very good chance that he would end up being fat as a blimp. That's all I want to say. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Enough of that garbage. Tell us a joke there, Dr. Fatpacker.
Well, I was in this bar the other day, and I've never been in there before. And I sat next to this lovely lady, and I tried to talk to her, and I said, could I buy you a drink? And she yells out. She goes, "No, I won't sleep with you tonight, you pig." And everybody in the bar started looking at me, and I was embarrassed, and I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Sleep with you? No, I'm not going to sleep with you." And I said, "Hold on, lady. I just wanted to buy you a drink." And then she apologizes to me, and she goes, "I'm sorry, mister, but I'm just having a little fun with you. Everybody at the bar knows me." And I was just kind of joking with her. And I looked at her and I said, $200?
That's even better. What a yippee-ki-yay.
Don't mess with us old guys.
So did you get a discount?
I don't kiss and tell.
Okay. Almost, Charlie, tell us a joke.
What I am.
Well, I went down to the beach the other day.
Yes.
And I found a bottle with a note inside. Wow, I tell you. I took it out, and here's what it said. "We have been trying to reach you regarding your car extended warranty."
You just can't get away from that. Well,
oh, my goodness.
This kid went into a soda fountain, and he says to the clerk, "I'm going to have 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream." And the clerk said, "We're out of chocolate ice cream." So he said, "Okay." He says, "Then I think I'll have 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream." And the clerk says, "We're out of chocolate ice cream." And he said once more, he says, "Then I think what I'll have is 2 scoops of chocolate ice cream." And the clerk said, "Look," to the kid, "spell van as in vanilla." And the kid goes, V-A-N. And he said, "All right, spell straw as in strawberry." And the kid goes, "I know that too, S-T-R-A-W. He said, "Okay, now spell stink in chocolate." And the kid says, "There's no stink in chocolate." And the clerk said, "Exactly."
That's exactly the one I was trying to think of.
Dr. Fanpack, go for
Very
it.
good. We're right on the same wavelength here,
Go ahead.
So my neighbor was telling me the other day he got home from work. He'd been married for 10 years when his wife was packing her bags.
Oh,
And he says, well, where are you going? And she goes, to Las Vegas. I found out that there are men that will pay me $500 to do what I do to you for free. Oh, the man thought about it a second and he began packing a bag himself. And she goes to him, what do you think you're doing? He says, I'm going to Las Vegas with you. I want to see you live on $1,000 a year.
oh, and that's when.
That's when he kicked her out.
Almost, Charlie, tell us a joke.
I was thinking the other day, I wish my ex could look down from heaven and see me now.
Oh.
But no, she's still alive.
Well, Roy Rogers bought himself a pair of extremely expensive boots, and he put them outside the bunkhouse, and he went in to have lunch, and a mountain lion chewed his boots to smithereens and then took off. Roy Rogers saw the mountain lion. He jumped on trigger and raced after him, and after half an hour, the boys in the bunkhouse saw him coming back. And there's this lifeless object across the saddle, and it was the mountain lion, dead. At least it looked like the mountain lion. And Roy Rogers stopped, and the boys were all lined up, and he jumped off his horse, and the boys in the bunkhouse all said, pardon me, Roy, is that the cat that chewed your new shoes? Back to Fanpack here.
Oh my goodness. Now, we had this lady that came in for an interview the other day to be a receptionist. When she happened to be blonde, and I said, I'll give you $8 an hour starting today, and then in 3 months, I'll raise it to $10 an hour. And I said, so when do you want to start? And she goes, in 3 months.
What a smarty.
Yeah.
Almost, Charlie.
Well, a couple that I know, in fact, they're neighbors, were having dinner out one night.
Yep.
And as food was served, the husband said, looks great, let's eat. And his wife said, honey, you always say a prayer before eating at home. And he replied, well, that's at home, sweetheart. Here the chef knows how to cook.
Oh, dangerous, dangerous. Do you guys know the best way to love thy neighbor? And the answer is you should usually wait until her husband is away on a business trip.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. Dr. Fanpack.
That's what I would do. Yeah. I heard the story about President Biden. He was getting an update on the Iraqi war.
Oh, okay.
And his person came in and said, finally, sir, the 3 Brazilian soldiers were killed in Iraq today. Well, President Biden, he goes, oh my God. Oh, wow. He goes, oh, and the other guy says, well, Mr. President, we lose soldiers all the time and it's terrible, but I've never seen you so upset. He goes, what's the matter? And he looks up and he goes, how many is a Brazilian?
Da 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 da.
Ah.
Enough of politics. Almost, Charlie.
Okay, a little boy kills a butterfly and his dad says, no butter for you for 2 weeks. And then the little boy kills a honeybee and dad says, no honey for 2 weeks.
Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
The mom walks in and she kills a cockroach. And the little boy turns to his dad and says, are you going to tell her or should I do it?
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord.
There's a drain someplace that all of this is being washed down.
Ladies, this is for you, ladies. I have 2 public service announcements.
Oh.
Number 1, which one of your kids will never grow up and will never leave the house? You know the answer? Your husband. And How does a man, ladies, really satisfy his wife in bed? And the answer is he sleeps on the sofa. That's what he does. Last one, Dr. Fatpacker.
Oh, Val, very good then. So I was out golfing the other day. When the guy that I was golfing with, he's standing over his tee shot, you know, and he just stood there and he looked and he stood there and he looked and he stood. And I said, come on, go ahead and get started. And he goes, well, my wife is up there watching me and I want to make this shot perfect. And I looked and I said, forget it. You'll never reach her from here.
Oh, never is good.
No.
Okay, last one there, Homos Charlie.
Okay, here it is. When I was a kid, we didn't have play dates. My mother kicked us out of the house till dark. And the weakest among us ended up on unsolved mysteries like Mother Nature intended.
Oh my goodness. Well, the other night I was feeling, I'd had a few drinks. You guys know I drink too much. I drank too much, and I was feeling a little sexy, a little frisky, and I thought I was texting this married couple to see if they'd be interested in getting together, but by mistake I texted the zoo. But it wasn't all bad. I ended up having a very exciting evening with a gorilla and a polar bear. Is that dumb or what?
Certainly not, or what?
Oh, anyway, we're done.
Oh, yeah.
We're really done. We're like well done. But before we leave, we invite a very famous celebrity to be on our next show, next video. And Dr. Fatpacker, who should we invite for our next video?
Well, I heard that this summer we may actually have the Olympics going again.
Yes.
It's very exciting. So
Yeah.
I thought in that vein, perhaps we should invite Mary Lou Retton.
Mary Lou Retton. She's the very famous gymnast.
She was a very famous Peter Pan.
So, Mary Lou Retton, you are going to be on our next video. All you have to do is check in at funnyoldguys@gmail.com, and you're going to be on our next video. But if you don't check in 24 hours, we're going to put you in the trash bin. So,
Oh.
Mary Lou.
Oh.
I'm just telling you. So, this is the Comedy Thief saying goodbye, passing along to Dr. Fatpacker for his farewell.
Well, I hope she gets on her gym horse and rides over here very quickly. Auf Wiedersehen, everybody. It's good to see you again. I'm going to let Charlie do the subscribe thing this time.
Okay, go for it, Charlie.
Well, goodbye to everybody, and subscribe, and like.
Okay, everybody wave goodbye. We'll see you down the road. We'll see you at our next video.
Tschüss, Nay.
Cheers.